I'm a proud U.S. citizen. And what is happening today in America is disgusting me. And I want to send a message to our brother Max that is in this facility illegally. Should not be here. He should be at home with his wife and his kids and his family and back in his workplace. So we want Max to know that we are here for you, brother. We are supporting you. We are supporting your family. We are supporting your community because they are behind you.
We have to fight, but there's hope. You're the hope. Us standing together is the hope. Us being for one another is the hope. Us standing for Max is the hope. Do you stand for Max? I stand for Max. Thank you very much.
Is labor in the house? I said, is labor in the house? Let's go. Let's go. I want to thank all of you for being here to demand that they release our brother Max from this facility and return him to his family today. I want to take a moment to just make sure that I extend the love and the solidarity of our entire labor movement to Max's family, specifically his wife, Crystal, who I know has been a tireless advocate, who has been leading the fight on the outside so that Max can stay strong on the inside. I want you to know that your labor family has your back. We believe that working people should be free to organize, free to stay with their families, free to dream, and free to dissent. This is not radical. It is the foundation of our very democracy. And we will defend that today and every day until the day we all win.
The dishonest and distasteful lack of communication within the Philippine embassy, stating on one hand that they want no part, a duty to defend their nationals, that's what they were founded on. Then another stating that they have committed to providing support, but we have turned to our union family, 160 district, and the help of Tanggol Migrante, in response to being told that we will just wait to see what the U.S. decides and then we will act. There is no initiative being taken to be resourcefully provide aid in the demand to the immediate release of my husband, Maximo Londonio. I want my husband home. Our daughters want their father home now.
Tenemos 11 años luchando contra este sistema. No vamos a parar hasta que todos sean libres ahora. Este terrible lugar, en estos momentos, tiene a 1,600 personas detenidas. En el 2024, cuando había alrededor de 700 personas, o sea, la mitad de lo que hay ahorita, las condiciones eran deplorables. Imagínense si el año pasado eran 700 personas y ahora más de la mitad. ¿Cómo deben de estar estas personas? ¿Bajo qué inhumanas condiciones? Por más de 2 meses no le están sacando a la yarda y esto los mantiene estresados, los enferma psicológicamente. Muchas personas están enfermas porque la comida está en mal estado. La higiene está terrible en cada unidad. Nos dicen que utilizan un baño para 24 personas. Están amontonados. Inclusive están compartiendo habitación con números grandes de personas. Esto se ha convertido en un campo de concentración. Sabemos que muchas personas han sufrido abuso físico y sexual. Este lugar está lucrando con cada uno de ellos. Al estar cobrando por cada persona detenida, nuestros impuestos están mal usados. Tenemos que cerrar este centro de retención ahora.
Our people deserve nothing less than respect and dignity. We have seen blatant attacks on migrants, such as the cases of Auntie Lynn and Ate Michelle, who were recently detained here. Along with Max, Filipino workers across the U.S. are unjustly detained under horrific conditions. As these attacks on our people worsen, the Philippine government has done nothing. The Philippine government's only response has been, we will wait and see what the U.S. decides and then respond. Let's set the record straight. It is not the work of the Philippine government, not the work of the Philippine consulate that has led to the release of Ate Michelle and Auntie Lynn. No, it is through the painstaking work of the mass movement and our allies that has forced these systems to free our kababayan, our people. We demand protection, hindi deportación. Protection, not deportation. To fight for the release of Kuya Max is to also fight against the systems that led him here in the first place. Filipinos are no strangers to resistance. As Filipinos are forced to leave their homes and families to find work abroad, we also take our culture of resistance with us. We have seen that it's not the work of a few individuals or our governments that'll lead to liberation. Resistance, again, is in the blood of Filipinos, and we're ready to fight. So I call on our union friends and everyone here to join us in the National Democratic Movement for genuine change in the Philippines.
I want to just take a minute and recognize how important labor is when we're talking about fighting fascism. Solidarity is what stands up to tyrants. So it's important that we are here together, that we're not calling out anyone from our community, that we're calling each other in, that we are here together. It doesn't matter where you're from or where you are, but we have one struggle, and that is our class struggle.
We are fighting fascism. We are fighting hate. And we have among us here a love far more powerful than anything in that detention center. I speak to you as a paper granddaughter. I'm Chinese American, third generation. My parents are the target of eliminating birthright citizenship because guess what? Their parents are the same. My grandparents are the same as the folks inside. Let's go back to the very first naturalization law in this country called, could it be clearer, the Chinese Exclusion Act. Someone like me was never meant to be here on a permanent basis. As Liliana said, the Northwest Detention Center, its contract is being renewed this year. It doesn't have to be renewed. So let's call it, shut it down.
So many times injustices happen and we don't know the name. We don't see the face. But today we know the name of this injustice, and that's Maximo. This is personal. This is political. This is about human rights. It's about constitutional rights. And what is happening right now in this country, what is happening right now in our city and in our region and in this state is despicable. But we organize and we rally because an injury to one of us is an injury to all of us. Because a union is only as strong as its solidarity. Because no one should be ripped away from their family for doing everything right. I just want to make sure that I say that we stand with Max and his family and every detainee that's enduring this system of cruelty. I would really love for this to be the last time that we have to organize on behalf of Max. I would really love for this to be the start of change, of real change. And I would love for this to be the day where dignity isn't something that people have to fight for at borders, at airports, and even in their homes.
I appreciate it for each individual, especially to my family and my union rep, and for the organization of Tanggol Migrante. Thank you, in my bottom of my heart. Thank you guys. You guys are making me strong.
We all want the same things. We want to be able to care for ourselves, for our families. We want to be able to go to work with dignity and be safe in our communities and to have a fair shot at the American dream. When they come for our immigrant siblings, our immigrant family members and co-workers, they are coming for all of us. Because an injury to one is an injury to all. And we know we are stronger together. We see through their divide and conquer strategy, they want us to fight each other instead of fighting for better wages. They want us to fight each other instead of fighting for health care for everybody. They want us fighting against each other so that we are not bettering our communities. What we need is to create more pathways to citizenship, not more cruel detentions. What we need is an investment in our communities, not tax breaks for billionaires. And what we need is to see Maximo go home to his family,
We are here to say not in our city. We stand in front of what is a stain on our community. It has been a stain on our community since 2005. Every day, we have the opportunity to build a Tacoma that reflects who we are. And everything that happens in that place and everything the administration does to tear that down, we know we are better than that. Max, I love you. As long as I am state senator and elected official in Washington State, I will fight for you and I will fight for everyone that tries to tear us apart. We are better than this. We will be better than this. And for everybody that's in there, we see you and we love you.
We are stronger together, not just within one union, but across the world and the whole labor movement. That's why ILPS is waging a people struggle. Our siblings are under attack right now, and the only solution is in the power of the people. The Philippine government, in collusion with the US, has created a system in which exporting labor is the norm, where displacement and migration are the norm, and it continues to line the pockets of capitalists and leads to the neglect of people and poor investments into infrastructure and social development. The American dream is an empty one. Even those of us who have not migrated recently, we feel this crisis. So many of us are struggling to pay rent, to make ends meet, to save for a brighter future. How many of us had to cut back on necessities from housing to family planning? How many of us have struggled to save for the future? Trump's attacks on social safety nets, combined with massive cuts to Washington's budget and nationwide assaults on unions, are deepening these crises. Meanwhile, migrants are being scapegoated to justify a surge in violent and unjust ICE detentions and deportations. The use of migrants as scapegoats is to distract the people from the real reasons we are all suffering from this. Access to healthcare, unemployment, and other fundamental basic human rights are being denied to us right now.
Workers faced off with the police. They organized through food and water blockades while standing in their factory. Power cuts and threats to their lives did not stop them from continuing their strike. They were asking for a wage increase of 50 pesos per day. That's about $1 per day increase. And despite all this, they persisted and won their demands by holding firm together. On our call on Wednesday, Nexperia Philippines Workers Union President Marianne Castillo told us directly, "No threat can compare to the power of united workers fighting back. We proved that even in a heavily repressive environment, the strike remains a weapon that can shake the ground." Castillo added, and I quote, "What happened at Nexperia is not unique. Mass layoffs, contractualization, job insecurity, red tagging and state repression, and wage stagnation amidst rising prices. These are the realities facing Filipino workers across industries. But not all workers have unions. Not all have the strength of organization that we've built through decades of struggle. That's why this strike victory matters, not just for Nexperia, but for the entire international working class." She added that because it shows that unions work and that strikes remain effective, that unity is stronger than fear, and when workers stand together, we can win. In the US, we need to continue learning the lessons that organizers in the Philippines and around the world have been learning for decades. As the US adjusts to this era of heightening fascism, gutting of the NLRB, stripping of workers' rights, we must connect with our labor brethren internationally to learn the tools to organize and win against governments that have already regularized violence against its people who are just organizing for a better life.
When working people come together, we can stop fascism in its tracks. Fascism feeds off fear. It grows when people are isolated, divided, and made to feel powerless. But unions do the opposite. When we organize, we build solidarity, we create community, and we show each other and the bosses that we are not alone. As union members, we don't just fight for better wages and working conditions. We fight for dignity, democracy, and justice in our workplace. And we know that when we raise our voices together, no authoritarian force can draw us out. IAM is proof that when we organize, we win. And the more power we build within our movement, the more power we have, not just to protect our rights, but to push back against hate, division, and exploitation that fascism depends on.